Hello, everyone.
Hey!
So by a round of applause, who is at a Story Collider show for the very first time tonight?
Wow.
That's a lot. Nice.
Anybody here for not the first time? All right, good. Yeah, look at that.
We got some of them
Good.
too.
They're more enthusiastic because you guys got to catch up to them. They've seen this and they understand how exciting it is.
Well, what the Story Collider is all about is true personal stories about science. So we're really excited to be here. This is our show in partnership with Math for America, as you just had introduced us. We're very excited to bring you stories from math and science teachers from your community tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I was a math teacher, so I'm really excited.
And we hope that we can share some of your guys' stories, too. We've got the hat up here.
Oh, yeah.
You probably noticed you have slips in your program where you can write your own sort of mini stories, and Nisse and I are going to read them
Yeah, in
throughout
between
the show.
the stories, other people's stories. So if you have one and you're writing it down while we're talking, come up, put it up here. When the storytellers are talking, don't do that because you'll feel awkward. It's like if your student came up to you in the middle of class and just handed you a note while you were lecturing. It'd be very uncomfortable, right? So don't be that kid. I know he exists, but you don't need to be him. That's what I'm saying.
So we've had an amazing time working with these
Yeah.
Math for America teachers. Everybody's been so punctual.
Yeah. They're
Met
so
all
good
their
at deadlines.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
taking
procrastination.
instruction.
Yeah, they
It's
take
almost
notes
like
well.
they understand what it's like to be on the other side.
I know,
of
it's
that.
interesting. For me, being on the other, I wasn't until I became a teacher that I really I don't know if for you guys, but when I became a teacher, I just like re-looked at my entire childhood and was like, oh, whoops. I had this like memory that I think I'd blocked out that when I was 12, I went on a 5-day trip through the Appalachian with some with a group, and some of them were adults. You know, they were taking us there, and we were in this van. We were careening. That was the only way to describe how we were driving. We were only careening the whole way there, and down this like dirt logging trail to get to the place where we were going to start doing the Appalachian Trail. And these like logging trucks were just like coming at us, and I was just in the back. I was 12 years old. I didn't understand anything in the world at that point, and we ended up like falling off the cliff a little bit. We had two of the wheels like it was an action movie. We had two of the wheels like off the side of the like ditch that we were on, and one of the counselors had to get out and push the car back and the van back, and we like got to the ferry that we were going to take across this river to get onto the trail, and it was just a canoe with a guy. And it became that problem that a lot of you have probably taught. Like if you have 3 people on one side of the river and you got to get to the other, and one of them has to stay in the canoe the whole time because the other people are 12-year-olds who can't paddle that hard. It takes a while. It rained all 5 days that we were hiking, and the first night, this is my memory of it. I'm only going to tell it from my perspective. I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was just blood all over my tent. And one of the kids who I had just met, who was in the tent, was just huddled in the corner going, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Oh, no. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, he had gotten a bloody nose and then just scrambled all over the tent. So what I'm saying, it was a terrifying experience for me as a kid, but I was like, this is what happens. I realized as a teacher, I re-looked at that from the adult's perspective and was like, that was awful. That must have been the worst experience for them because they were the ones who were now in charge. Like, can you imagine being in charge of some children and then the bus falls off the cliff and then you go to sleep that night and you wake up to a bloody tent and a kid just huddled in the corner and going, I don't know what happened. I felt much worse for them, realized like I had a much better position because I didn't have to solve the problem, which then as a teacher, you realize you have to solve all of these problems.
Round of applause, everyone who's had a bloody nose situation in your classroom. You've had some bloody nose situations. You're not alone.
Yeah. So if you have any moments like that, please write them in the... Did you have some teacher thoughts as we were doing this show?
Well, unlike Nisse and many of you, I'm not a teacher. I'm artistic director of the Story Collider. Thank you. So I help people with their stories. That's what I do. But I worked with the Moth. Do you guys know the Moth? Yeah. A big storytelling organization. I was a teacher with them for a little while in their high school program. I went to like School of the Future and Brooklyn Latin. Anybody from those places? Yeah.
Nice.
I did their after-school Moth program for a while, and when I first started doing that, I was excited. I like kids. You know, I have a lot of siblings.
Says with a huge ellipsis between yeah, sure.
Well, I have a lot of siblings and cousins who are younger, and I don't know if you know this about me, but I was a kid once at one point. Yeah, I took the traditional path from baby to child to adolescent and adult. Yeah. So I was excited about that, to work with them on their stories, but I was very nervous about the prospect of being an authority figure. I'm not very good at that.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I was worried I might have to yell at someone or tell them not to do something.
Yeah.
It just caused me a lot of stress. The biggest surprise, I think, the first day was when one of them asked me if they could go to the bathroom. And I had never been asked that by another human before. And I was so taken aback. I'm not ready to have this level of power over another person. I just went totally white, and he was like, well, it's like, I don't know.
Did you let him go?
I mean, yeah.
Good.
I said, please do, please. I don't want to hold you back from that. Another one of the children, he asked me if it was okay if he swore in his story, because we were doing a big show for the school, and you know, I'm me, so I said sure. I said express yourself, because I thought, you know, a tasteful damn or bullshit here and there is what I had in mind. What he did was essentially deliver an Andrew Dice Clay set for his entire high school. And I could see the administrators giving me the side eye, like, did you know this was gonna happen? So I'm sorry, everyone at School of the Future. I apologize.
It's a school of the future of language, future of everything, you know.
Well, you guys, we have 6 amazing Math for America teachers telling stories tonight.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to hear from them? Are you ready for your first story?
Yeah, good.